Hello, 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 everybody. How we doing today? So good to see you. Welcome on in. Congratulations, Virite, on being first. Lime Blossom, thank you so much for that subscription. That just makes such a big difference. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'm very excited to be here on day 2 of the jam. I hope you are all as well, whether you're participating or not. It is great to have you here. Welcome in. Uh, Maripon as well. So good to see you. Welcome in. Quantic, Lime, Nemphis. So good to see you. I don't understand Discord though. I muted and silenced the stream announcement channel. I still get updates and get pinged. I'm on Twitch all the time anyway, so we'll see when it's online. I hate that. So if you don't want that, you may want to go in and go to the roles channel and remove Watcher from your profile. I'm with you. I have a bunch of Discords like that as well, where I specifically want to not get pinged in like going live channels, and it like I say don't completely mute the channel. Don't have any alerts, even if I'm directly tagged. Don't do it, and then they'll do at everyone. It's like, well, okay, that didn't help. So yeah, my apologies. I wish that I knew what to do there. I am needing to pull this. Whoa, Tom, with the subscription. Wow, thank you, Tom. Oh my goodness, you're amazing. It's a Twitch baby, 9 months. Wow, we've officially given birth. Mic volume's a little bit low. Let me bring that up a little bit. That's crazy. Wow, thank you so much. That blows my mind. I'm not gonna lie. Wow. That's insane. My goodness. Thank you for all that you do to make this space a reality. All right, how's the mic volume now? Is this a little bit better? 100, give me emo. You got him.
Give me emotes.
There you go. Oh shoot, Virite, good to see you. Week has been super busy. Glad to be here this morning for a little bit. I hear you. Yeah, I hope things are going well. Nekdos, welcome in, welcome in. Tom alone will pay for your house. That's all it takes, you know? It's just a couple of, 6-month subscriptions and we're done. Deeply appreciate Tom and all the support they give to this community. Thank you. The question, because I got a bit confused, is Gauntlet end at 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. 10 a.m. Mountain Time. So I put a relative timestamp in the Game Jam channel. So if you go to the Game Jam channel, you can hover over the in a day thing in my most recent comment, and it'll give you the specific time relative to you. Yeah. Okay. So here's the deal. I need to pull this project down. Because Dark Doombringer apparently did an entire character and animations yesterday. But I messed up because I pulled it when I had Godot still open. And then it said, do you want to keep your local changes and overwrite? Or do you want to discard your local changes and overwrite? And I thought, I don't know what local changes you're referring to. I guess I'll keep them because, like, GitHub should have overwritten the files, so those should be the local one. No, I was wrong. I was very, very wrong. And I pressed the wrong button, and it has now broken things. Golden Fella, good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. What is your job? Right now, this is my job. We're doing Fox Hollow Games. It is a charitable enterprise to help people enter the games industry. So right now, we're hosting a game jam. We do quarterly game jams to try and support people. Long term, where we want to be is acting as kind of a mini publishing house to help people get their first portfolio project under their belt, while kind of streaming it and providing the space for people to, interact and grow themselves. So that long-term thing, that's going to be those people get salaries. They are not volunteering their time, because the only way this is going to work is if they're actually getting paid for it, because otherwise they're not going to be incentivized to learn or devote the time that they need to have a good portfolio project. So that's the long-term goalpost we're trying to hit. Today, it's about the game jams and just trying to level everyone up. I've been a product designer and a UX designer for over 10 years. So that's kind of the background and expertise that I'm bringing in here. And I've been learning development and programming on the stream for the past 9 months. So 3 hours more to work on the game jam than I thought. Nice. Awesome. Glad to hear it, Nectos. Alkaline, how you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. Always commit before pulling. Usually there's no way to break things permanently. Man, I have no idea how Git works. I'm not going to lie. Like, if I hit discard all changes, is that going to revert my files? Or will it just tell GitHub, ignore these changes, but don't do anything to the files? I have no idea. Not a darn clue. What's the difference between pulling and fetching? Like, my goodness. I love GitHub. It's so good. Takes some getting used to, though. I love the concept of GitHub. I love the concept. Also, hi, Alkaline. I love the concept. I just wish it was even just a tiny bit usable. That's all I want. Just a little bit usable without exactly knowing what you need to do at every instance. And if you don't, then it's disastrous. Am I using GitHub Desktop? Yes. Yes, I am. And granted, this is user error. I clicked the wrong button. To be fair to me, though, the button that I should click was also very unclear. GitHub had some poor messaging there. Because that really streamlines the entire process. It does help a lot. Probably the only person here who doesn't use Git. GUI is always helpful? Sure. I mean, ideally. Hopefully GUI will help things. I could work hard to make a GUI that is not helpful. How many people are working with or for you? So right now it's very small, and we want to keep it very small because we want to minimize operational costs. So we have a couple of moderators that are supporting, and we have our sponsors for the Game Jam, Riverwolf Games and Cartoon Coffee. Big thank you to them. That's where it is right now. We're trying to limit overhead as much as possible so we can give as much as possible back to the community. Remember the problems I had with GitHub once our entire project got corrupted because we didn't understand how it worked? Yeah, I'm more familiar with the command line, sure. I don't need to work hard to make unusable UI. There are not many ways you can permanently ruin a project using GitHub Desktop. I'm sure you can get back to where you were relatively easily. Doing things with the command line is much more dangerous. I mean, maybe. What if I discard changes? Okay, so it looks like they're going to go to the recycle bin. So maybe that will do the trick. So if I go to the Goodly Doodly and try and open this up here and try to do our Foxhole Jam 3 jam entry. We go to 2D. Hey, it worked. Discard changes did the thing that I thought it was going to do. Congratulations on being a button that actually does what you expected. Hooray! So like 3 people, I mean, essentially we've got, some moderators, some sponsors. As far as like employees of the organization, it's just myself. Yeah. And we deeply appreciate all the support we get from our moderators and sponsors. I just am trying to answer what I feel is the question. So let me know if I'm not hitting what it is that you're looking for here. Okay, great. Let me get Godot brought up here. There we go. Look at this. We got a player. We got a player. Look at this. So if we hit play, hey, look at that. Dark Doombringer, you mad lad. Just 60 frames of nothing. Okay. What about landing? Nice. Running. So good. Turn. What? There's even turning? You got turning in here? You absolutely crazy person. All right, what have we got? So if we hit F6. Woo! Woo! Look at all that. Look at that. This is looking great. Awesome. Awesome blossom. Haven't implemented the code for turning yet. My goodness, Dark Doombringer, you're insane. That's so far beyond what I would have ever done. Gamion, welcome in. Good to see you, friend. Okay, so let's real quick, let's go to our Chrome here and see where we're at on our roadmap. Today, we need to do the monster and keys and locks. So keys and locks are going to be fairly easy. Fairly easy. Jack, good to see you. Welcome in. We just need to get the pigments. We need to get a pigment. So a pigment is like a red circle or something, right? That you pick up, you bring back to base, and then you will absorb that, and now you have essentially the key, right? And then you can go find the lock. So this is the pigment code that we did in our global here. So if we go to when we enter the base, if pigment gathered is not blank, so if you have something, then we're going to append that pigment to the array of your colors that you have available to you. What's the best game engine for beginners and what's the best game engine for pros? That's a very complex question. I will try to give you a simple answer. So the best engine for beginners is whatever you pick. And I know that's not a satisfying answer. But really it does completely depend on the individual. So if you have never coded before, you may want to look at something maybe like Game Maker, right? That has a visual scripting language and get you accustomed to things. Scratch can also do that. Absolutely, Lime Blossom. If you have some development knowledge, maybe even just a little bit of development knowledge, Godot does a really good job. It's GD script is its language that it uses. Very simple, very similar to Python, so you learn some good programming fundamentals. You can also upgrade to C# at some point if you want to get more into programming. That lets you jump over to Unity really well if you want to go that route. Lots of indie studios do use Unity. So if you're wanting to get a job at an independent studio, Unity still isn't a bad choice. Even with all the problems that they've had, there are still the vast majority of indie studios do use Unity. If you're just wanting to make games for yourself, honestly, just pick something and go. Great games have been made in Game Maker. Terrible games have been made in Unity. It's totally about how well you use the tool. So if you're able to have a deep understanding of a single tool, you're going to be able to make something great. And that's really the short version. If you're wanting to get a job at a AAA studio, then I really, especially like as a programmer, I deeply recommend Unreal and learning C++. C++ is what the big boy studios use, and a lot of studios do use Unreal, but also a lot of studios will like maybe take some version of Unreal and then make their own engine, or they will just straight up make their own engine. But it's usually going to come back to C++. So if you want a AAA studio job, definitely start driving down the C++ lane if you want that gameplay programmer knowledge. Now, there's a lot of different roles in AAA, especially. So if you want to be a security specialist, that's going to be a different language. If you want to be a networking engineer, that's going to be a different story. So it's really just about what do you want to accomplish? What are you hoping to get out of your game dev experience? Unreal is getting more popular with large studios making first-person games. Yeah, and they're doing a lot of interesting things to try and appeal more to the indie space as well. They're bringing a lot of like AI world generation, like in like a physical space generation. They're doing some interesting things, and Blueprints is a visual scripting language that is fairly accessible. So, there's something about Unreal as well if you are just picking it up. It's definitely super complex, but they are doing some interesting things to try and make it more approachable. Don't try to make an FPS and RPG Maker. Yeah, so RPG Maker is another one. Like, if you want to make an RPG, like an old classic JRPG Final Fantasy style, RPG Maker's great. But, match your tool to what you want to do. Last time I did networking at a co-dev studio, I used Go. Oh, okay, yeah. Player profile management, sure. That's a complex answer. It is a complex answer. Really, it comes down to what do you want to get out of things? And depending on where that answer lies is going to be your answer for your engine. Basically, any game engine. I mean, there's a reason a lot of engines exist, right? If there were one that were objectively better, everyone would just use that one. So it's all about circumstances. It's all about context. Yeah. And then the deeper you get, the more you're going to be able to understand, oh, this engine is good for this and this engine is good for that. But that just requires time and experience to be able to deal with, and people aren't going to be able to really answer those questions for you. No matter what engine you work in, you will gain essential problem-solving skills and different perspectives on coding style. Absolutely, absolutely. You know, a lot of people bag on like GameMaker because it has a different sort of approach to coding, but a lot of those fundamentals carried over for me into GDScript, which I'm sure would then carry over into C# and then C++. Like it's all related, right? You're so kind of sharing your wisdom, you rock, Foxel. Oh, heavens. That's very kind of you. But frankly, I don't have any wisdom. So I'm glad you're getting something from it. That's between you and some divine entity that is beaming knowledge into your head, and I'm grateful that I get to be here to support. So yeah, I don't know if that's a satisfying answer or not. Happy to talk more about it, but like if you can tell us, this is what I want out of game dev. If I want it to be a hobby and I just want to make games, like our good friend, oh dear, what was his name? Narvin, the Irish, flaming red hair, handlebar mustache stonemason. He just wants game dev to be a hobby. Totally viable, right? He just gets enjoyment and fulfillment out of it, and that's great. He doesn't want to make a full-time commercial release. Well, yeah, that's going to be a different answer than someone who's wanting to be the next lead developer for the next Dragon Age, right? Okay. So what are we doing here? We're trying to get right the color array, and the color array should be built, right? We should be able to do this. So if I build a new, I'm gonna copy the resource stuff. Something to be learned in all things. You just got to know where to look. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Yep. If there's anything good, virtuous, lovely, we seek after those things. 100%. All right, we're going to duplicate this. We're going to call this Pigment. We're going to go to Pigment. We're going to rename it Pigment. We're going to disconnect the script, make a new script. We're going to go to resource 1, copy this all, go to Pigment. We're going to bring it in here. But then I'm going to change our export from value to color. And this will be like yellow, right? In fact, let's go green, because yellow is kind of a hard color to make contrast off of things. I heard from a Danny video. Danny is a huge coding YouTuber, sure. Yeah, I'm familiar with Danny. Global.pigment gathered equals color on pickup. And then resource 1 update.emit. We don't need that. You do pigment update.emit of color. There we go. And then, okay. This one, signal bus resource 1 stored.connect on ready. On ready? Resource 1 stored.connect? Oh, because that's to respawn it. We're actually not going to respawn this. I guess unless you die. But that's something we're going to have to handle regardless. I think if you die, you just lose. Unless we have the time to actually do that. So I think we just deal with that. So color is green, and then we're going to have our sprite be able to be different. Unity is good for making particles. I mean, so is Godot, and so is Unreal. What kind of particles do you want to make, right? Like, Unreal can do really impressive particle work. That was like their big showcase when they released Unreal 5. Are the Gauntlet games going to be played on stream after Gauntlet ends or after the game jam ends? After the... probably after the game jam ends. I'm open to people's thoughts on that, but I think that would be a more exciting thing. Like maybe if people are in the stream and they want a Gauntlet game showcase, we can do that. But I won't like go through systemically and play them. Godot can definitely do cool particles. I have a really bad particle effect. Right here you'll see. Right, so like it does particles just fine. Here we go, Cthulhu Beanie. Whoa. Whoa. So I don't know exactly what Danny is referring to. I think particles being a defining feature of an engine is an interesting choice because, like, even GameMaker has good particles and everything. So I'm curious what he meant by that. Okay. Let's go ahead and change our sprite here. I'm gonna change this into just a placeholder texture. Grow this up, and oh, that's with scale, isn't it? Let's do like 40 by 40. Okay, 100 by 100. Let's do 150 by 150. Too much. 120. Well, actually, let's keep it at 150. Let's keep it at that. And then we're going to go ahead and add that pigment right here. And then I want to make sure when we do this, when we add our pigment, I want to print color array, player color array. There we go. Okay, let's check this out. Now, what are all these errors that we have? Oh yeah, just the timer was not added to scene. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right, let's see if this works. Hey, we have green. That's good. And we have blue-green. Lovely. Down here in the console. Perfect. Pigment's working. So now the big thing we need to do is create doors. So let's go ahead and make a door. Gonna make a new new scene, new 2D scene. This is gonna be color gate, or we'll just call it a gate. We can be more succinct here. This is going to have a sprite. It's going to have a collision or an area, and it's going to have a collision. So we drag these areas out for our collisions. We're going to say it's a rectangle. The sprite, we'll just give it a placeholder texture, which will be let's say 100 wide by 300 tall. I mean, that's pretty big. It's hard to tell relativistically how big that is, though. Gate. Oh, we haven't saved it yet. Save. Scenes. Save. Let's just add this in real quick to make sure it's. That's maybe a little big. Cancel. We'll shrink it by half. There we go. That's more reasonable. It could probably be even shorter, but this is nice and imposing and a good visual sort of anchor. So we'll leave it there. The area 2D, we do need to stretch out right there, and then height all the way up. There we go. So this is our gate area, and then we'll do another area which will be our lock check, key color check. I'm going to add a collision to that as well, which will also be a rectangle. And you're going to be the same shape. We're just going to put you right in front a little bit. So the idea is when a player walks into this space, we're going to check to see if the colors in the array equal the color of the gate. And if so, then we delete the gate. We're going to go ahead and add a script here where we'll define all that behavior. So we're going to have @export var color equals, and then we're going to, say blue, right? And beware, the Tollkeeper approaches. Bezos harkens near. So we are going to go into ads in just a few minutes. We'll pause the stream during that, though. It's a good time to take a break, go look out a window, and we'll be back after he has had his fill. So, on ready, do we even really need anything? I think so. I think we need to do gate area dot body entered. Oh, and we need to set up our collisions too. So this is a part of the world and you're looking for the player. And I guess the gate can actually also look for the monster. So you could theoretically the monster could get stopped by it. But the color check is only going to be looking for the player. So color check dot body entered dot connect. So when a body, like our character, enters the zone of the color check, we're going to go to a function called check color. And then we can do func check color. Making a new function. It's not going to really receive anything. We're just going to check if global.playerColorArray dot and I think there's a way to go through it and search it for a value. I mean, I can do that by hand, but I think that there's a way to natively search for something. Returns the index of the last occurrence of what is in this array, or -1 if there are none. Okay. Returns the index of the last occurrence of what? So we could theoretically say rfind and what is going to be color. And then do we need? Is this required? What from? Search to start can be specified with from, continuing to the beginning of. Okay, so no. So it's saying int equals -1. So it's going to start at the very beginning of the array. So we just don't have a comma there. So if that then we queue free, right? That's like the basic thing. We'll see if that works after these ads. We'll be right back. Have you built a lock and key system? I am right now. I hope you're having a great Saturday. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Okay. Great to see you. Mothman Centaur with the hydrate. You got it. I hope you're having a magnificent Saturday. Okay, so we need to check, is this gate working? So theoretically, it's going to check if it's blue, and we have blue to start with. So if we move to the left, we should just be good. What if we change this to like blah, blah, blah? Because I want to know, am I still running through it? I am running through it. Okay. Strange. Are our player collisions still set up correctly? Yeah, we're still on layer 2. So what is happening with this gate? You are looking for the player, and you are looking for the player. Okay. How strange. You haven't, Jack? You know what? There's your idea for the game jam. I know you've been looking for mechanics. How's it been going on that, by the way? I know you had a thought on, like, art style, but not on mechanics yet. Okay, let's actually, I see what the problem is here. We need a static body. Then we can put the gate area in there. In fact, we don't need this to be an area at all. I'm just being a giant weird person. Okay. You gave up? That's okay. That's understandable. We do have some errors that are getting called here. Oh, that's right. We need to, so we're using the body entered signal, which passes in a body parameter. I'm not using that. I really just want to know, like, that it got triggered. So we can add this as an optional argument here, and that should hopefully fix this. Okay. So, okay. There's no, it's not happening here. Let's go ahead and do some prints here to see what's happening. Print this. And let's see where that takes us. I wanted to do like a pixel art style with entirely black and white, but I'm not stylistically skilled enough to make it anywhere near nice enough to actually play. Well, I mean, I'm curious. I wonder if you are having a bit of a higher bar for yourself than maybe is necessary. How's it going? One day in, plenty of time remaining. Yes, these messages will change over the course of the jam. Good to see you, Tiny Devil. It's going very well. Yeah, we're making progress, getting all these mechanics built out. Yesterday we got we got quite a lot of work in, which you can, oh dear. Oh dear, hold on. Our overlay is so not what is it should be. What is going on? Oh, here we go. There we go. Okay. There we go. Great. So, all right. Yeah, we can ditch this one. Cool. So we've been getting a lot done. We're working on our keys and locks right now for our little extraction platformer. It's going really well. Other than I, for some reason, am being silly, but if this is greater than or equal to 0, because it's going to return -1 if it can't find anything. So it's saying if this, and blue is our first color, so that's 0. So if 0, which it'll just skip over. So there we go. Nice. Great. Get rid of that print. Gates are done. Hooray! So like theoretically we could do now green, right? And we can hit F6. And we run forward, it doesn't trigger, we pick up the new pigment, and now we can do it. Hooray! Keys and locks done. Alamod, what's your news? What's the bad news? Hit me. What you got for us? Okay, so that's gates done. All we need to do is change the value of the color. And it is finding the correct pigment. So that's, yeah, I think that's good. I think we can mark it off. Let's go ahead and do that. Boop, boop. Get those check marks in the chat. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Now the monster. This is the thing that I've been dreading. I don't want to do this. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to code monsters. Oh, man. Bad news is that I can't submit to the gauntlet tomorrow. That's very understandable. It is a very tight timeline. That is not going to work for everyone. Whew. That is a big platformer controller. Prodigal with the black toque. Absolutely. Oh, here we go. There we go. There we go. We got the hipster Cthulhu today. Can I make this look a little more round, please? There we go. So many variations. You got Snake Case, you got Pascal Case, you got Leet Speak, you got, there's a lot of options to be first in. Oh man, I don't want to do this. Okay, enemy AI, here we go. 2D scene, enemy. And then we're going to change this to be a character body. Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna add. We're not gonna call it enemy. We're calling it the monster. We're gonna add a sprite, an animated sprite. We're gonna add an area. Well, we're gonna need a collision shape first. That's gonna be a capsule. And then we're gonna need a attack hitbox. So we'll need area and collision for that. That is going to be a circle. And then we're also going to need an animated sprite in here. This is going to be the claw sprite. Or swipe sprite. Swipire. Swire. Oh my gosh. Swipe sprite. We're going to meet some people, so I don't have the time. Also, I can't use the computer after that. Sounds perfectly fair. I'm glad you're putting a priority on real life relationships and in-person interactions. That's great. That's the right thing to do. My boss keeps begging me to stay and to work something out. Feel nice to be wanted and needed, but I also want to keep my mind healthy. So I told him he has to provide that. He asked me for a week to sort things out and pair me with a smarter than me person that can help me have fun again with my work. We shall see. Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear. I know that was a really big talk that you were prepping for yesterday. It sounds like it went fairly well, though. Good news being I'll submit tonight. I was about to say, I hope you're able to submit whatever you do finish, even if it's not a completed project. But I can't wait to see what you've got. I mean, you've been showcasing that in the Discord. I've loved seeing the updates. Absolutely great. Who wants to socialize in real life? I am, despite what you may expect from me, I am a massive introvert, like deeply introverted. But I've learned to be outgoing so that I can like survive in this world, right? So I can be an outgoing introvert. My wife is a shy extrovert. She loves being around people, but finds it very difficult to like initiate those sorts of things. So, it's interesting how people can kind of represent different things. I'm gonna go ahead and add our new folder for the monster sprites. And then in here, we're going to bring in our Claw Swipe, our blue slash that Dark Doombringer picked out for us, which I think is totally a great call. Godot, you gonna import? Godot? Am I like in a zip or something? No. What's going on? Sprite sheets. Blue slash. There we go. There we go. Boss man wants me to stay and be happy, so he's trying. It's a great thing, and I don't want to ignore that. That is great. That's really great. Yeah. Make new sprite frames. I figured if I ever find Joe in real life, he will not want me to get close, because being an introvert. Probably true. Yeah, probably true. We're going to go ahead and add in our things. No, I can enjoy being around people. It's just a matter of, like, what do I find is naturally... Whoa, that's huge. Okay. What comes to me naturally, and what do I gain energy from? So when I have a long day of streaming, I get done, I'm like, holy crap, I'm pooped. And that is doing it remotely without having to like be with everyone. It makes it a lot easier. If I have to spend all day with a bunch of people, when I come home, I'm done. I mean, I'm completely exhausted. Watching the League World Championships. Okay, that's exciting. I hope that goes well. Hope that is a great, great time. Insert empty at the end. There we go. So we can hit play. And we're going to change this to be like 30. Let's try 40? 60? Yeah, that's feeling better. Okay. Now we need to change its size for absolute sure. So we're going to shrink. We're going to squish. Go in and squish. Make it a little bit bigger than the hit target, so the player feels like they get a little bit of a break. It's always good to like err on the side of the player, right? So you want them to think, oh my gosh, I can't believe that didn't hit me, rather than, wait, no, it didn't even touch me. Why did that hurt me? Those are very different feelings. Home is for sleeping. The day is to spend outside. Prodigal, you and I would have so my wife is similar, right? She's very much let's go out, let's do things, let's go on hikes, let's go to the library, let's go to the farmer's market and have really, hey, speaking of, Eston B, good to see you, welcome in. Let's do all of the things. And I'm like, why? I have my house. That's why my house exists. So that I can sit on the couch and do the things I want to do there without anyone looking at me. So I lurked the whole day yesterday. What is this game about, and how can I be disruptive? Little one says, hi, Daddy. Aw, hey, kiddo. Good to see ya. So what we're building, Prodigal, is an extraction platformer. So if we launch the game here, you'll be able to see we have our player here that this is our kind of home base area, and then off to the side are progressing levels of radiation, which don't have like visible signifiers yet, but we'll get those in. So you're going to be running in, trying to pick up these like Godot icon resources and bring them back to bank all these resources, which you can then use to buy upgrades. As well, you can pick up these pigments, which will then allow you to get through doors. And eventually we're going to get this to where like that was a green door. So when I step onto the green door, now everything is going to turn green. Like my character will turn green, this area will be green, all that fun stuff. We'll use some shader shenanigans. And then when you have enough resources, you can come back to base and you can start buying upgrades. So I have 3 resource 1, whatever that ends up being. You can step onto this to upgrade your health. We'll have other upgrades for like radiation resistance and increasing your jump count and everything. And your job is to go into this blasted wasteland, which will have like no color in it, while dealing with the radiation buildup, you can see in the upper left there, and come back with resources in time to level yourself up and be able to go further in to fix whatever has broken. However, there's also going to be a giant monster trying to claw your face out while you were doing that. You can see an artist's representation over here. This is kind of what we're going for. So this guy's going to be running around chasing us and trying to murder our face while we are running around sort of a color Tron landscape, like the gates and everything, to fix everything. So that's where we're at right now. Abstraction minimalist? Kind of, yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. You couldn't see that. There we go. There's the mood board. Here we go. Here's the artist representation. Here's our little guy running around with, particle effects and these VFX from the Cartoon Coffee's pack, and he's going to be swiping at us, and we have to make it back to the base, so. That's why the house exists. I agree, Alamod. To sleep at night because outside is too dangerous? So it's complicated. Are you going to have time to do all of that? That is a great question. We may have to give on some things, but we're doing okay for getting all of the core mechanics done by the end of day 3. So what we're working on right now is the monster, and this is the thing I'm most worried about because I have never built a state machine. I'm not really good at enemy AI type sort of stuff when it comes to platforming and all that. So this is the big question mark that I have. We'll see if I can do it. If not, we may have to cut it. Maybe Dark Doombringer will believe in it enough that he will do it himself. I don't know. We'll see. Daniel Pancake, thank you for the hydrate. AI is smoke and mirrors? Yeah, but we gotta make the smoke and mirrors jump across platforms and chase the player and everything. So, I don't know. Drink the fedora. Someday we'll fix that overlay. Someday we'll make it so it doesn't throw out a hat every single time. I still don't know why it's doing that. Okay. But yeah, that's where we're at. So we've got our monster here. I'm getting in this, the hurt box. Let me put that in right there. And you're going to start on the empty sprite. I said you're going to start on the... Hey. Stop. Go to this one. What? No loop. Play. There we go. Great. Okay. Yeah, so you bind it to the player's coordinates with delays and set a timer to check for swipes. And if swipe conditions are true swipe. Sure, but bind it to the player's coordinates and everything. That's like, I don't know how to do that. I can do that if the character's flying, right? I've built flying AI where it like detects if the player is within a certain range, and then if it is, then it just starts flying over to the coordinates. But when you have to deal with running, jumping, all that sort of stuff, that's going to be new for me. Alamod, learn a design principle. Let's do that. Distract me, please, from having to figure this all out. Let's learn a design principle. Yesterday we talked about the waist to hip ratio. That was a fun one. Let's go to another kind of weird one we don't talk about very often, but definitely has applications. Mapping? Let's do mapping. Mapping is kind of one of those ones that you might look at and be like, well, obviously, but is really easy to lose track of if you don't have it in the forefront of your mind. The Explore Hat design principle. Oh, you guys. What book is this? This is Universal Principles of Design, which if we go all the way back up top, Universal Principles of Design. This is the cover by Lidwell, Holden, and Butler. You can find PDFs of it online. I think just because it is such an educational resource that it has been uploaded, I believe, legally? Ooh. I don't know. But if you don't own it, you definitely should. It is really a great, great book. It has been the foundation of my design knowledge, especially in terms of like UX. There's a lot of good visual design stuff in here too. So mapping. A relationship between controls and their movements or effects. Good mapping between controls and their effects results in greater ease of use. So their example here, right? The segue. Lean forward to travel forward. Lean backward to travel backward. Makes sense, right? That is good mapping. If we go to this car door example, the relationship between the window control and the raising and lowering of the window is obvious when it's mounted on the wall of the door, because you're going to be pushing it up or down. So the window going up or down makes sense. But ambiguous when mounted on the surface of the armrest. So if you are, if it's this same control, but put horizontally, right? You can imagine that you're pushing this lever forward or backward to raise a window up or down. That doesn't make sense. So what you see in a lot of car doors, if they are putting it on the armrest, it's something that you either push down or pull up in order to maintain that good mapping, right? The relationship between stovetop controls and burners is ambiguous when the controls are horizontally oriented up here. So if you try to figure out which control activates which burner, it's going to be trial and error. The relationship becomes clearer when the controls are grouped with the burners. So now at least we know these two map to these two, but we don't know which one is which. But the horizontal orientation still confuses which control goes with which burner. Poor but improved. When the layout of the controls corresponds to the layout of the burners, right here on the bottom one, the control burner relationships are clear. That's good mapping. Listen up, class. The finals are next week. Absolutely. So I was actually just talking with someone just today who was trying to figure out, like, clear hats, Mothman. Thank you for the clear. How's our hat hair today? There we go. All right, just a little flattened. That's nice. It is nice. Yeah, it's really cool. So I was talking with someone just today who was saying, I want to put the triggers of a controller to map to a music minigame like Ocarina of Time had. And my first thought was, how are you going to map those, right? Because if you have four triggers, right, how are you going to map that to notes moving across the screen in a way that will make sense to the player? It's not impossible, but it is going to be a tricky one to do. You can also use this to artificially inflate difficulty, right? You can leverage the UI to change how the game feels. So if you, for example, had... if we go to our whiteboard over here, to take this controller example, prodigal. Okay, that's gonna take a while to load. Let's go here. So if we had controller 1 or trigger 1, trigger 2, trigger 3, trigger 4, and then you have musical notes coming in, right? What direction do they come in? How do you do this? So you could have your triggers laid out like this, but then the player has to work really hard to remember this is the bumper, this is the trigger, this is the bumper, this is the trigger, or vice versa, right? You could maybe swap these two so the bumpers are on the inside or the outside and the triggers are grouped together. That's one way you could maybe do it. If you keep the layout as it is on the controller, then it's like, okay, so we can't come in from the side because it'll like have to pass through something. We can't come in from the top because it'll have to pass through something. But what if you went crazy with it and said, like, okay, these ones come down from the top, these ones come in from the bottom. Okay, that starts to kind of become interesting. Now you're having to pay attention to multiple different spaces on the screen. That could create a very different rhythm experience. You could have stuff come in from the side and then from the top and then from the side again. And like that all of a sudden becomes a whole lot harder just based on where things are coming in from, right? So mapping can drastically change how someone experiences that sort of thing. So there you go. There's mapping. There's our design principle. Thank you for that redemption. That was fun. Any thoughts or questions on mapping before as we head back into building AI? An ah moment. As in like an ah of realization, or pretty obvious but mostly forgotten? Yeah. Right? That's completely correct. It's the sort of thing that, it reminds me of this guy. Steve Krug in Don't Make Me Think. He has an anecdote in either here or Rocket Surgery Made Easy, his other book, where he says he would consult with companies on their UX, and he would come in and provide a list of explanations that, or a list of things to fix. And the executive staff would be looking at it and they'd say, well, that's all just obvious. He said, yeah, it is obvious. But if it's so obvious, why didn't anyone do it? And then the executives would just say, well, okay. WASD is the universal mapping. It has become, so I would say WASD is, I mean, it has decent mapping. A and D left and right, W to go up. The S is a little bit weird depending on the thing, but it's close enough, right? I would argue more so that it's Jacob's Law because the arrow keys were the predecessor of WASD, and arrow keys had good mapping as well. But WASD took over because of its access to nearby keys. It allowed you to have a hand on the keyboard to move and trigger abilities and hotkeys and stuff while also having your hand on the mouse. So because of that first-person shooter, like Wolfenstein 3D, I think was the first game that did WASD. If it wasn't the first game, it was very close to the first game that did WASD. I remember that moment, booting up Wolfenstein 3D and being like, well, why doesn't it use the arrow keys? That Jacob's Law has taken over and has made that the standard. Difficult to deal with for game dev, since even the keyboard can't be mapped consistently for every region. Yeah, absolutely. WASD starts with Quake. It was a mod from a player and then was adopted by all. Okay, interesting. I didn't know that there was a Quake mod for WASD. There you go. Very, very cool. Oh, and Bezos is about to approach as well. Let's see what we can do with this Oh, hey, hi Messi. Do you want to say hi to everyone? What, do you want to get out? Okay. There you go. Yeah, crazy that like I learned this the other day. I grew up with Doom, Quake, Wolfenstein. I had no idea. Hat Tower, starting with the sun hat with a bow. Okay. I had no idea those were all made by John Romero and folks at id Interactive. I didn't know they were the same company. That blew my mind when I learned that. And they're like, Doom led to Quake, which I believe led to Wolfenstein. Like, crazy stuff. So, yeah, wild video game history. We are jumping into ads. I'll get this hat tower on, and we'll dive into building a monster, which I don't want to do. All right, sounds good. Thanks for being here and encouraging me in this moment of hardship. Let's see. What's the hardest thing you've had to build recently? What's the hardest thing you've had to build? It could be software related. It could be not software related. What's the hardest thing you've had to build recently? We'll be right back. And welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Uh, a home filled with love and respect. Yeah, okay, you win, Prodigal. I hear that very deeply. Still learning how it's hard. It is the quest in life. Ad break answer rigid body engine, which I didn't finish but wasted 2 years on. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I wouldn't say you wasted, probably. I'm sure you gained a lot of learning that you're able to carry forward into other things. Software wise, I don't get to build anything hard anymore. Maybe an audience for my game, still building it. Marketing is the true final boss, isn't it? Mesh morphing. Take 2 meshes and a slider that slowly transforms one into the other. It was a fun college project. Wow, that sounds pretty intense. Yeah, that sounds very difficult. Okay. Right on. Okay. Monster. We're gonna attach script. This is our basic character body 2D. I'm gonna use the basic starter character body. Because I don't want to deal with like our really big complex one that we brought in as an asset. Oh boy, add the fedora. Okay. Okay. Let me grab that. I can grab it with my toesies so I don't topple the hot tower. There we go. There we go. Easy dubs. Easy dubs. There we go. Woo! Nope. Everything's fine. There we go. All right. Yeah. Right. Okay. So we're going to need an area 2D, right? And this is gonna have to have a collision, and this is gonna be a big old stonkin' circle, like a big old stonkin' circle, because this is going to be woo. Okay, maybe not quite that big. Oh gosh. Okay. A big old stonkin' circle to say, if you see the player within the circle, start chasing them, right? For Abjus. Okay. This is going to be our player detection. So if the player is detected, we're going to have to like get the player's position and then draw the line between them. Oh god, I hate writing platforming AI. Okay. Let's do if you know, we're gonna need to export the player. I'm thinking here. Export player as character. Oh, right, we need a var. Export player as character body 2D. If player detection dot body entered, and we need to set up our collisions here. So you are the I mean, you're not a collision layer, but you will look for the player. The hurt box will look for the player and is a monster hurt box. Is that a typo? No, okay. And then the monster collisions need to be 4, and you need to look for the world and the player, but not hazards, not yourself, not the monster hurt box. Okay. So if player detection dot body entered, oh god, what do we do here? We could say we're not going to be doing this stuff. We can say, I'm going to just write some stuff out right now, which is probably a really bad idea. We'll refactor this as I'm able to. Chase as equals false. Chase equals true. These hats. Endo, good to see you, friend. How are you today? An extraction platformer. I truly think extraction games are going to be the next big thing. You think so? I mean, we are seeing a little bit more of them here and there. The roguelike phase is still going really strong, but I'm starting to see the first signs of roguelikeification dialing back a little bit. I'm starting to see more and more people vocally discussing what they don't like about roguelikes, and they want a more permanent sense of progression. And I think just like RPGs had a phase where like all of a sudden everything was an FPS RPG or an action RPG, and eventually those mechanics just became standard in the genres, and now they weren't an action RPG, they were just action games, and leveling was a part of it, right? I think we're going to see a similar thing with roguelike elements, where roguelikes are not, it's not a platforming roguelike, it's just a platformer, and there's like some roguelike element in it, but it's just kind of expected at that point. It's become a part of the genre. And it wouldn't surprise me if extractions start becoming more of a spoken genre once that fad goes away. It's a fun idea. Yeah, agreed. Yeah. I mean, who knows? I may be completely wrong, but those are my thoughts. Okay, like today, nowadays, if you want to release a first-person shooter with no RPG mechanics, do you know what that's called? It's called a boomer shooter. So we've gone back and we've changed that old definition to a new genre. Okay. I'm excited to see what happens to roguelikes happen to Extraction. Yeah, and I think incremental games are in there as well. I think we're going to start seeing incremental become more a part of a lot of things. It's an Extraction game plus Peggle. I could see that. Get on that, Endo. Go build that. Scholar Peggle. Dive into the library and find the spells to bring them out. Silly combos like that? Oh, yeah. Definitely. 100% gonna happen. At the end of the day, is an extraction game a roguelite? Because you have runs where you have some sort of permadeath, but there is meta progression between them based on what you extract from them. Is it? Chase equals true. So, if Chase, we need to like take our position, global position, and then subtract the player's position from ours, and we're gonna say var direction as a vector 2. So direction equals player's global position minus our global position. Everything is a roguelite because the player learns something from losing, sure. The player is the meta. I love it. Oh, man. Funny. So now we have the direction. We can say... Clear hat's incredible! Whee! Thank you, my friend. Thank you. There we go. There's our new hat here. It moved. It used to be very flat, and now it's this very, like, anime, like, the gangster type sort of guy, you know, whoosh, way out. All right. May the balls be with you and with you, my friend. How are you doing on this weekend? How's the family? How are your projects? Nice hairstyle. Thank you. So now we can say if direction dot x is greater than 0, then we can say velocity dot x equals direction times speed. Yeah? Is that right? And then equals direction dot x times speed. And then if direction dot x is less than 0, then it's times -1, right? We just flip it. And then this is deceleration. So we throw that right there. Decelerate. Is that how you spell decelerate? Decelerate? It is. I spelled it right. Well, there you go. Festival's going crazy here. Oh, I bet. Yeah, isn't it Diwali? Is it Diwali, or like did that just barely happen? Yeah. That ended yesterday. Okay. It is Diwali. Cool. Very nice. Yeah, I'm sure that is quite. Gosh, you're reminding me. I need to wish a friend happy Diwali. Goodness gracious. I'm a little bit late. Hold on. Speaking of prioritizing real life relationships. There we go. Awesome. Good. Happy Diwali, y'all. It's like Christmas here. Yeah, I bet. Oh no, heavens. But thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Am I not here? What do you mean? I see you in the chat, Alamad. Yeah, happy Diwali. Happy Diwali, everyone. Hope we're all just having a grand old time. I'm not gonna lie, Incredible. Given your fluency in English and your profile picture, I have to conscientiously remember that you at least live in India and you're not just some like white trucker dude in the middle of Kansas. It's a bit of a thing I have to like work at every time. So thank you for making me work at it so that I could remember to not be a bad friend. You barely finished school? Well, it doesn't show. I mean, school is not necessarily an indicator of future life performance, right? Okay, so we decelerate. So basically saying if direction.x equals 0 or is, you know, not a number or whatever, then slow down. You did teach in school? My brother was in programming classes in high school, and this was back in the 90s, right? So programming was still fairly young. Not in its infancy anymore, but fairly young. And their programming teacher quit or had a medical thing or something where they were not available. And my brother was asked to teach the rest of the semester's classwork. And he did that. Do I remember where you live? I don't know the exact place. I know you just barely moved to a college, to a dormitory. So I don't know exactly which part. I know that it's you know, the rough region, which I'm hesitating to say anything because I don't want to step into anything that may be potentially offensive due to my ignorance. But I know roughly geographically in that part of the world where it's at, vaguely speaking. How's that? Were you in Dubai before? I don't remember that. Gosh, I can't remember. Take that, education. Okay. Let's see. Is it on your site? Hold on. I think I can maybe look this up. Do you have your do you dox yourself? Do you put your stuff up here? I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. No clues. I can't find your portfolio page either. All right. Neighborhood brother. Let's I think this will be bad, but maybe functional. Let's check. And then velocity Y we'll need to figure out. Do we just say like if the players if direction.y is positive and you have a platform like close to you, like we do a platform detector, then velocity.y equals jump velocity? If player dot, or not player, if direction dot y is greater than 0, let's just say that. So whenever the player jumps, they will jump. It doesn't make any sense. I kind of just want to see if it will do its job. Okay. Monster! You are right here. Oh, and you know what? We need to do the animated sprite.2d.scale equals vector 2 of -1, 1. No, we're gonna do we need the whole thing. Yeah, there we go. And then we swap it. Okay. We're not actually going to be able to see anything. We need to put something in here as sure, we'll use the knight for now for our monster. Oh, that's right. We have to go in here and make new sprite frames. And then grab our knight, sure, whatever. Shrink. There we go. Idle. This is our auto, and then we're gonna add a new animation. This will be run. We're gonna add in these guys. Whoops. Select none. There we go. Add those frames. And then make a new. And this is going to be jump. Add those frames. Oh, wait, there's not a jump. That's right. Yeah. Off into the last game now. 500,000 people watching the stream just on Twitch. Wow, 500,000. That's crazy. What an event. How's it going? How are the games going? Is it being close? I've used pixel arts to make pixel art today. It's a nice app. Very nice. Sounds great. Okay. And then we need if direction animated sprite 2D dot play run. Else animated sprite 2D dot play idle. All right. Let's see the myriad ways that this is broken. 2 games each in the best of 5. Wow, that's crazy. Invalid access to... Oh, right. We need to set our... First off, bring you out of there. And then assign you the player. There we go. Prodigal. All right. The Grey 2. Where is that sucker? Here we go. There we go. Pop away. Oh. All right. What happened? Did I get my directions flipped or something? Is it sprinting off the side of the... Hold on. Let's put you right here. Let's try it again. Where is the monster? Oh, okay, there we go. Try this again. What's going on? I'm really convinced some of these players aren't actually human. I mean, when you get to that level, you're spending probably 16-hour days playing League of Legends for years. I remember someone saying that they got the equivalent of a master's in League of Legends. I'm like, yeah, I bet people have doctorates nowadays. I bet people have a doctorate degree equivalent for League of Legends, especially at those professional levels. I mean, it's absolutely wild. Life happens. I understand that well enough. I know you'll play it for sure. My toddler is so particular, I'm going nuts. Oh, I hear that, Lime Blossom. It's tough. Yeah. Who gave these little creatures opinions? Even Foxhole Games. Well, yeah, I will. In fact, we may tackle that today. I may need a break from doing this AI nonsense. Isn't that high level of gameplay the reason people watch, but maybe they are botting? Highly opinion. Yeah, like my daughter, she's an absolute precious sweetheart. Oh my gosh. She will be there to defend whoever needs defending and to just make people feel loved and be so sweet. Until she decides she, wants to do anything else, and then it's like, come hell or high water, she will have her way, or it will be major tantrum town. And so we get a lot of tantrums in the house. You got to break the high score? Yeah, absolutely. In fact, why don't we do that after this ad break? That sounds like a good time. Ad break starts in 3 minutes. I'll load it up. Hold on. Itch, incredibro.itch.io. Just bounce. There we go. I got it. Got it loaded up. We'll check this out right after the ads. Tantrums, and not just from me. Not just from me, believe it or not. It's not just me tantruming. I'm down to watch some Incredible gameplay. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, but like, why is this happening? What happens if I get rid of the jump animation? And we go to the world and hit play. Where it's like it's just disappearing on load. What is happening here? Why do you not exist? Let's go back to the world. Let's print out your Print global position. Let's just see what the heck is happening here. Are you like falling through platforms? Are you yes, something like that. Look at that. Wow. Huh. The very first frame is that. That's our Vec 2. I don't particularly think that that's accurate. So that is our X value is zoom way off to the side. So Fox, I'm coming at a crossroads with a sequel to Scholar. I finished the vertical slice and I don't think I want to continue. Oh, tell me more. That's a fascinating thing. I'd love to hear more. But we are jumping into ads. We'll give you some minutes to type that all out. Have you ever given up on a project? Given up on a good project, something that you like enjoyed and believed in, but had to decide, you know what, it's not worth it right now. I have done that in the past. That's why we had to put a pause on Moon Hollow, even though it was like pretty far along in development. I had to make that decision. It was rough. So, what have your experiences been? And we'll be back after Bezos is done. All right, welcome back, everyone. Good to see ya. Okay. It's good to know now instead of at the 90% point. Yeah. Yes, I want to be positive for be positive. The spell combo system is a solved concept because of the first game, so I'm not excited about that. Fair. And I don't think I'm adding anything new to the Monster Hunter genre. Okay. I played the vertical slice and left feeling meh. I'm not excited. I think I might have to explore something else. Okay. Some questions. Have you given it to anyone else to play? Have other people been able to get their hands on it and give you their thoughts and impressions? If you considered adding a grappling hook. Grappling hooks do make every game better. Connect 3, add a grappling hook, and you'll make millions. There you go. I've definitely given up on projects, but I don't think any of them were far enough to be considered good. Interesting thought, Tom. Thank you. Probably most give up on projects. Yeah, loads. All my projects are good. Exactly. See, there's the confidence disparity there. I need to feel like I'm doing something that's changing the landscape. I'm adding something new to a genre. I don't think the Scholar sequel is that. Hey, Kid Out, good to see you. Welcome in. Yeah, I've given up on my engine's first iteration. It was too convoluted, and I learned a lot more since that first attempt. This rewrite and restructure has been way better. That's wonderful. Zolitude. It was a jam game which I wanted to improve after the jam. I had worked for a week on it only to find out a Unity bug, which I never resolved. I found the solution a year later, but now it's either too late or I'm too lazy to do it. Wow. Actually, surprisingly, at my interview for my current jobs, my interviewer and I discussed how to make my engine better, and I've implemented their suggestions. Oh, nice. Usually I give up on a project to make something better. Like my first tactics game could have been taken further, but making a second one felt more productive. I understand that very deeply. Yeah. There's always that trade-off of, do I keep investing time and potentially money into something that is already a reality and maybe it will increase sales, but what's my return on that instead of starting something new from scratch and I can apply all these lessons instead of dealing with the old things that I've learned from? That's very valid question to ask. So yeah, I'm curious about the Scholar sequel here, Endo. Has anyone else been able to oh god, okay. I haven't given this slice to anyone else to play. I think it's more of a personal feeling. Even if someone else is like, this is great, I don't feel that way. I feel like I'm ham-fisting the magic system into Monster Hunter. And why is that a problem? Like, what's the issue with that? Let's say you were ham-fisting your magic system into Monster Hunter. Why is that a bad thing? I think with early projects, you got to think more long-term about your learning, especially if you're young. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's check out Just Bounce. Don't let your light go out. Bounce on red boxes to refuel. Be careful not to fall off. Okay. WAS to move, mouse to look. This is a first-person game. Right-click to rotate 180 degrees. Left-click to dash down. Escape to pause. Left-click to dash down. Like a ground pound? Ooh, check out this leaderboard. Wow. Okay. Hey, Otter. There you go. Dude, you're number 25 on your own game? Neck dose? Great. Love it. Irregular human. Love it. I'm seeing some familiar names here. Scholars. Oh. All right, trophy, please. Scholar's magic system takes preparation, thinking, things like that. Good Monster Hunter bosses are about reaction time and reading movements and jumping at opportunities. They're conflicting. There is definitely Twitch-related gameplay, 100%. But there's also a ton of preparation that goes into Monster Hunter, right? Like, you have to craft the correct sets of armor. You have to eat the right food. You have to, get all of these things ready for each monster that you fight, right? Am I misunderstanding that? Practice practical NPC. Nice. There you go. Let's enjoy Just Bounce. Just wanted to bounce it off. Yeah, we can chat more about it another time if you'd like, because I'm definitely interested. All right. Play. Whoa. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Whoop. Okay. Oh, gall. Can I zoom out? I'd really like to zoom out. Oh, gosh. Oh, no. Shoot. Cute. Cute. Let's retry here. The camera is your worst enemy in this game as the player. Like, not being able to visualize the whole experience and not being able to see very well when things fly around, that's rough. Just got to bounce off a project into a more exciting one. All right. Yeah, sound effects are cute. Okay. Got to get that score multiplier up now that I kind of see how that functions. So if you hit the same block twice, not only do you not get a score, whoa, darn it, but your multiplier resets. Some sort of effect there would be nice, right? Oh, gall. To say like, hey, this is building or has reset. Oh, okay. Wait, what? Why did it reset? Jello platforms are a nice touch. Yeah, there's a lot of good squish squash and everything over here. This font is not my favorite, I'm not gonna lie. Especially with the gradient, it's kind of frustrating to read. All right, let's try that. Especially since it's not matched when we type it in. The type in isn't matched. All right, where am I at with 400? Oh, gall. Nano dev. 26. Oh dear. All right. Retry. Put this together really fast. Sure. Ah! Oh. Jeez. The music's hard. The, oh god, the camera's so frustrating. I just want to see. That was such a leap of blind faith. The platforms moving, though, is so crucial. Without that, this isn't really a game. Oh, my score multiplier died? Why? I'm alive. Okay, okay, okay. Keeping that multiplier. No! See, I couldn't see where it moved to. All right, submit. All right, all right. Where does that take me? God, not even the top 10 yet. Oh, I'm the same score as NanoDev. Now we got to beat NanoDev. Come on. Use mouse? I mean, I am using the mouse. It's just your viewport is so limited, you know? Like, it's almost better to just go pure up and down. Oh, shoot. I feel like this is giving me the most viewport for my buck. Like the pitch modulation on the little jumpy. Yeah, this feels a lot cozier. Doing good, doing good. The fuel hasn't really seemed to matter quite yet. since there's only 3 blocks. Seems like it is draining a little bit faster here and there, though. There we go. Ooh, that was close. My eyes are starting to dry out. So high stress. Where's the red block? Okay. Gosh. Woo. Okay. Okay. All right. There we go. There we go. There we go. Keep going. Oh, our multiplier died. Why did our multiplier die? I missed that. Oh, shoot. Faked myself out. Funny thing is, you get better at this game really fast. Woo! 5,627. Where does that put me? Hey, I'm in the top 5. I'll take that. I'll take that. Yeah. It's a crazy jump in score. It really is. I mean, once you get... If you can just keep your multiplier going, right? You'd expect that sort of exponential curve. So, there you go. All right. Very cool. Very cool. Thanks for showing us that, Incredible. That's awesome. I see the ball theme continuing here. Yeah, I definitely feel far and away the best way to do this is just to put yourself in top-down mode and go. I'm curious if you observed that behavior in other people playing. Did anyone else rely on that? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Also, JD Does Dev gave me a shout out. How dare he give me a shout out while I'm online? Like he's gonna expect that we're not gonna do the same thing. Go follow JD Does Dev. He's great. Almost everyone with high scores. It doesn't surprise me at all. Oh, that's funny. That's super funny. That's hilarious. Well, there you go. I don't know what this ground pound really does for you. Like, does it let me jump higher? I don't think it does. I think it's the same vertical momentum. So I don't really understand what that ground pound is supposed to do for me. It's when you're about to die? I don't follow. Alright, I guess we're doing another run. Do another run and then get back to monsters. The fact that there's only 3 blocks is interesting, I'm not gonna lie. At first I was a little disappointed that there were only 3 and it wasn't gonna like keep expanding. But then I realized it kind of forces you to keep track of things in your head in an interesting way. Stop taking me away from the red, you jerks! There it is, okay. Feels like if you keep alternating, it will... Oh, what? Lame. You can try and keep them at least a little bit close together. You're about to run out of fuel? I guess I don't understand how that's gonna help me. Like, that seems like such a niche circumstance, right? Like, when you have like this much fuel that you can't just wait to drop down and hit the block. I don't know when that's really gonna happen. There you go. Solo Dev Game Jam number 5. There you go. Nice. Yeah, I need to help out with one of these someday. Very cool, though. Very cool. 46 entries. That's not bad at all. Look at that. Nice. Very cool. Oh. Rarely happens. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Phew, boy, howdy. Let's figure out why this dude is sailing off into the sunset here. Let's... There we go. Print velocity. What am I doing? Velocity. Sure, we'll just do that. Thanks for playing. Thank you for building it. Thank you for sending it to us. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, infinite? Your velocity is infinite? Well, that would explain the insane numbers. So velocity is starting off at this. Okay, so there's something going on here. In what direction is? Cool. Let's dive into that. Yeah, I really appreciate you sharing that. One of the things that I love very dearly is seeing what people have created. In fact, I believe I owe Alamod a Game Jam playthrough as well. Alamod.itch. Was it Chromatic? No, that's the one that he's doing for this one. Was it Relevate? I don't know which one he made that we were supposed to check out, but yeah, I absolutely love getting to see what everyone has been up to and how everyone is leveling up and growing. Gotta go be a dad and take my kids to the park. Get them tired so I don't have to. I hear that. Soundscape Prodigal, best of luck at the park. I hope it's a wonderful, wonderful time. Okay. So what is happening with direction here? What is happening with direction? Print direction. Direction. Okay, and F8. And we scroll all the way up. Direction is starting at -66. And velocity is already outrageous. Velocity.x equals direction.x, which is just this times speed. What if we did like times 0.1? We'll slow it down a bunch. It's still going to 1980 for our very first velocity tick. Equals direction x times speed. But the thing is, this is... Okay, I think I see the problem. We're multiplying by direction x. We don't want that. We just want speed. So it's not relative to how far away it is from the player, right? There we go. All right, he went to go see his people, but yeah, I don't know what exactly is going on there. But we can at least move him over here. What are the global position values? Never mind, you got it. Okay. Get rid of the a apotheosis generator here. So, okay, so that's not great. Huh. So it can move to the left, but not the right. Weird. But then it also keeps flipping the sprite inverted, which is weird. Because we are doing the X instead of the Y, but it is flipping on the Y. What happens if we just get rid of those two lines? Okay, so he's not flipping anymore. And flipping. That is so weird. I mean, he's moving in the right direction. Like, the sprite is facing to the left, which it should be doing. But then it seems like it is also, every frame, alternating between right side up, facing left, and upside down, facing right. Which is weird, because I'm not, like, multiplying scale, I'm just setting it. I'm unsure about why that would be happening. Yeah, okay, so it's not because it's, like, getting reset here or anything. That is so strange. It shouldn't be causing those problems. Scale equals vector 2, negative 1, and 1. If we just get rid of this line, it'll probably not flip the sprite, but still move us over. That is so bizarre. How bizarre. Tell you what, ads are coming up. I need to take a quick break to think about this. We're going to go into ads, and we'll be back. Take a stretch, get a snack. We'll keep going. Most strange bug you've had recently. This is a weird one for me. Not just because, like, I don't understand it, but also because of all that flipping out that it's doing. I think that's kind of a fun bug. So what's your most strange or fun bug you've had recently? We'll be back. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. Spells would not appear on the hotbar correctly. Sometimes it would appear on the slot to the left or right that it was dragged to. It was because I accidentally added a blank image that was very wide underneath the spell, which was messing with the hotbar slot detection. That was a bug for 4 months. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Oh, it's always just those simple tiny, as my computer science teacher used to say, it's that damn semicolon, you know? It's just the tiny little thing that throws the whole system into disarray. Oh man. I can imagine the feeling when you figured it out. Holy cow. Just had to delete the stupid blank image. Oh no. Oh no. Elation and rage. Yeah. Oh shoot. Funny. Okay. Your loss is our game. Uh So why is this scale flipping up? This is a very simple thing. And why is it like flipping diagonally, right? It does seem like there is some sort of scale multiplier happening somewhere in here. But the only time we're using like multipliers is on velocity. Scale. Like, all right, we're gonna do another one. Print, scale, scale. And we're gonna throw a breakpoint right here. We're gonna hit play. And we'll walk through this breakpoint by breakpoint. Okay, so they have flipped. Hooray. We're going to skip ahead a frame, and now we are flipped. Scale is -1, 1. Go again. Scale is -1, 1. Go again. Scale is -1. What the fudge? So it's not. What is happening? Okay, let's go to our debugger. And what's our keyword shortcut here? 11. Where right before adding the gravity. We're gonna go ahead and skip. Right there. Okay. Go back. Direction.x is less than 0. Scale is vector 2. It is this. It's directly this line. But then why is scale saying that it's -1, 1 consistently? It should be. Hmm. Hmm. What do we do here? Next. Flip. That is so strange. What could be causing that? It most assuredly is that line. But why? Scale equals vector 2, negative 1, 1. I mean, this is the same thing that we're doing over here, right? Really? Okay, well, in any case, I mean, they're doing the negative thing and then the positive thing. Animation dot scale. What if we do animated sprite 2D dot scale? Okay, so that's working, but now, the problem we have is it's not flipping the attack box. It's only going to be flipping the sprite. And we need the whole thing to flip. What happens if I like do it here? Aha. Like, that's what I want it to do. Do you flip the sprite of the player? I do, but it's only the sprite. It's not like an attached hitbox. So the sprite, we do have this, but we're applying it just to the sprite. With the monster, I need the whole, like, entity flipped. If I do that, right, that works just fine. But for some reason, it is changing it. What was that giant catapult thing that it gave me? Yeah, it's still not moving to the right, which is really weird. If direction.x is less than 0, scale is negative 1. And like, it's setting the scale appropriately. Is the animation flipping out? Like, is it doing anything clever? I mean, this is the only script. Because I'm wondering if we're like flipping the character, but then the sprite is wanting to flip itself, and that's like causing some weird problems. But this is the only script that we have. Try flipping it without any of the logic. Okay, so doing it in the code still has that effect. What if we do the transform manually? So it's a negative 1. And that works just fine. Okay. So there is something about the code, about it running every frame, that is causing problems. Scale equals vector 2, negative 1, 1. What on earth? Can you debug the scale value? We are. So we'll go ahead and run it here. Let it run for a little bit and then close it. So it is consistently -1, 1. The scale value is correct. But for some reason, it is flipping. So maybe it's, I don't know, maybe there's another scale that's getting messed up. Maybe if we do like sprite scale. We do animation, animated sprite 2D dot scale. Let's try that. And then yeah, this yes, okay, this is the right thing. I want to make sure. Animated or sprite scale 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. So it's not the sprite. It's not the entity scale. It's not the like root the character body scale. What else could be causing it to flip like this? Can clear all those. Guess we can nuke these. We don't really need those anymore. I don't know what I'm expecting to see here. It's kind of like opening the fridge late at night and like you don't know what you want to make, but maybe if you open the fridge again, maybe there'll be something new that will inspire you. Yeah. -1 and 1. 1 and 1. I mean, I guess I could just build another attack thing and then give each of them a script that if a body enters it, then swipe. The sprite.flip H. Ring a bell. No, it doesn't. I don't see a flip anywhere in the script. I mean, what if we do, instead of scale, what if we do flip H? Monster.flip H? Nope. So you see Google bringing it up a lot when flipping sprites. I don't know, Gados, this might not be the answer. Okay. Sundown. Good to see you, friend. Welcome in. How are you? So yeah, we can do flip H on the sprite. Is that gonna do the same thing? Ha, doesn't even flip it. Weird. All right, last day of work was yesterday. Full-time streams incoming. Hey, so exciting, Sundown. Can't wait. Hope the family's doing well. Hope the baby's all right. It's the bool to flip the sprite. Oh, so you have to like set it equal to true, right? Something like that. Tremendously exciting, Sundown. We'll get to that design principle in just a sec. Okay, so that is working. But the problem is, once again, we still have the hitbox on the other side. This shouldn't be this hard to, like, you know, move it around, but there's got to be an easy way to do this, right? We'll keep going on that. Let's go ahead and go to our design principles. We've done a couple. This is our second one here today. We talked about mapping earlier. Let's go ahead and do another one. Baby is 3 months. Time flies. Yeah, 3 months. You're probably out of the like worst of it by now. That's good. You can fix the problem? Let me tell you what's the problem. So when we had it as scale, if we go back to the IDE, right? When I had just scale -1, 1 on the root, it does this. See that? It's like flipping from facing left to being upside down and facing right. Every frame. Scale is fine. Sprite scale is fine. I don't know why. It is this specific line that is doing this. I don't know why. Can you zoom in? It's hard to see. It is hard. Yeah, let's maybe grab the camera and zoom in a bit. There we go. There you go. There's our sprite. I can finally sleep. Scale X. It's flipping the Y as well. Why is it flipping the Y as well, though? I'm not telling it to flip the Y. Scale.x equals -1. Yeah, okay, well, it's different. There's a third jam going on right now. Yeah, sponsored by Riverwolf Games and Cartoon Coffee with a rad pack of VFX he prepared specifically for our jam. With a huge $200 mega pack up and his other $100 packs up for prizes. So it's very, very cool and exciting. Here we go. Yeah, so it's still freaking out for some reason. Wait. Right there. Why? What are you doing? We're only messing with scale.x. Why is scale.y getting affected? -1 and 1. So weird. So weird. All right. Before we dive more into that, we got to deal with this redeem here. We got to do a design principle. So, our design principle for the jam is signal to noise ratio. Our theme is chromatic. What would be something that could be kind of interesting to talk about there? We've talked about this one a lot, but I don't think I've ever shown the actual like textbook page of this. This is page 88 of Universal Principles of Design. Forgiveness. Designs should help people avoid errors and minimize the negative consequences of errors when they do occur. Okay? So we talk about this all the time. So when you have like a modal, like you say, you click delete on a save file, it pops up a little window saying, are you sure? Like, do you really want to delete this is what this means. Can you confirm that's what you want? Road signs make roads more forgiving by warning drivers of impending hazards. It's an easy application. Adobe Photoshop History Palette enables users to flexibly undo and redo their previous actions. That's forgiveness. Gauntlet submissions due at the end of November 3rd or start of November 3rd. Also for forgiveness, the Coyote Jump. Yes, Coyote Jump is a good example of forgiveness. Absolutely. So Gauntlet submissions due 10 a.m. our time tomorrow, sundown. 10 a.m. Mountain Time tomorrow. Yeah. In case of a catastrophic failure, the ballistic recovery system acts as a safety net, enabling the pilot and craft to return safely to Earth. Locking and tagging equipment is a common confirmation strategy to ensure that people do not accidentally engage systems under repair. The good affordance of this plug prevents it from being inserted into the socket improperly, right? There's only one way you can fit this thing in. That is another type of forgiveness. Our time. Okay, Fox just owns time now. Because I know Sundown is in the same time zone as myself. So that's why I mentioned it. 10 a.m. Mountain Time. So that's forgiveness. Forgiveness is really important. It's really good in UI design. It's really important. But as Sundown mentioned, there are gameplay applications as well. Coyote Time being a good example. Um, they say good affordances, and I would add good signifiers can do this. So if like you're building a roguelike with a lot of synergies, making sure that those synergies are clearly observable, like that your bleed stuff is clearly marked as bleed, right? That's a type of forgiveness. That's a way to indicate people, hey, this is a way to help things out. You can also have forgiveness in the game's economies. Like you see that with buyback tabs, right? Like, oh crap, I didn't mean to sell that cool weapon I just got. Let me go to the buyback tab and bring it back. That's forgiveness. Input buffering in fighting games. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's all different kinds of forgiveness you can apply. So there you go. That's a design principle. Thanks for redeeming that, Sundown. I also make all my hitboxes smaller than the enemy. It feels bad if it's pixel perfect. Allowing space feels better. Yeah, we were talking about that just earlier. That's a great point. It's another version of forgiveness. It's why, so if we go here and we go to our swipe, you can see it's a little hard to make out here. I can't seem to like say, hey, be in this frame. But oh, here we go. Move frame left. Oh, but see, it's not playing it though. Come on. Come on. Gosh, dang it. Well, in any case. There we go. You can see the effect of the hit is outside of the box. So if the player is like right here and then the hit effect goes past that, they think, oh my gosh, I can't believe that didn't hit me. I'm so lucky. Instead of it being the other way around, saying that effect didn't touch me, the hitbox must just be cheating or something. It feels terrible, right? So yeah, forgiveness. Huge design principle. Absolutely huge. Okay. We're gonna go all the way to the end there. So why are you dancing? And you're still not moving to the right. Oh boy. You move to the left just fine. Direction.x is greater than 0. So your velocity x should be... Okay, what if we just... Is it that? Like, it shouldn't be that. Let's just get rid of the times 0.1. So it should be ridiculously fast. Nothing. If I jump back over here, it's fine. So weird. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, you know what? Unfortunately, I think that's going to have to be it for me today. I have family calling. I've got to go be dad myself. Thank you all for hanging out. It's been such a joy getting to have this Saturday morning with you all, wherever you are, wherever time zone you happen to be in. What a joy. What a joy. We're going to go ahead and raid out to... you know what? Let's raid out to Cenobius. I have never raided into Cenobius before. And Endo's been in the chat a lot. Cenobius is a real scholar there and a friend of the program. He is playing Nimrods. So, you know, we're just going to go ahead and hang out, have a chill Saturday. Hope you're having a great time with your Game Jam submissions and other projects that you're working on. And we'll do that. Gauntlet submissions due tomorrow. 10 a.m. my time. I put a relative timestamp in Discord, so you can go to the Game Jam channel and see how much time is left for you. We'll be locking off Gauntlet submissions at that point. Make sure that if you submit, that you correctly mark it as such in the form submission process. And that will be the end of the Gauntlet. We'll catch you back in full-on casual mode on Monday. I'm going to throw the link for the critique form in Discord here in just a little bit. I'll do that right after we raid. So thanks so much for hanging out. Keep an eye out for those things. Get eligible for that most growth prize, and we will catch you next time.